Hello friends, today I am going to tell you about who the Nagas and the Naginis were. Were they related to the present day's snakes, especially cobra? According to Hindu, Buddhism, Jainism, Nagas are a member of a class of mythical semi-divine beings, half human, half cobra. Nagas should not be translated as snakes, though the Nagas look like snakes. Their function is different and distinct. They are strong, handsome and beautiful species who can assume either wholly human or wholly separate form and are potentially dangerous but often beneficial to humans. They are divine beings such as angels, Apsaras, Kinnera, Kimpurush and Gandhar. All these classes of divine beings take any form they like. So, Nagas must have superhuman, having supernatural powers. They always give a helping hand to men. So the Nagloka, where Nagas live, has a distinct character in yoga. Nagas are not hostile to humans as shown in the TVS. Much more they are near related, spiritually docile. Nagas are not poisonous. Hence, are not to be afraid of. Nagas take human form. They very much like to live as humans. They are Kamarupa, that is, they take any physical form they like. Nagas love to live with sages and saints, kings and princes. Serpents stands for yogic powers and are not negative entities as many believe it is. Serpents represents supernatural powers. To attain that power is yoga's goal. Every yogi aspires power. What is that power? Is it divine power? It is spiritual power. So spirit stands in place of serpent. Next to Devas, Nagas are important. They are nearer to our deeds and aspirations. All celestial beings have some divine quality or other. Their kingdom, that is Nagloka, is a kind of underworld. The capital of Nagloka is Bhogavati, where diamonds, rubies, emeralds sparkle everywhere, providing crystal light to the catacombs. It is evident. Nagloka is not a land of poisonous snakes. It is full of enchanting Naginis. Naginis are said to be one of the most beautiful damsels. According to Mahabharata, Arjun visited Patala, that is underworld, and married Ulupi. Ulupi was a Nagkanya or Nagini. She was the daughter of Airvatha Kauravya, one of the many Naga chiefs. And there are many stories of human prince falling in love with Nagakanya and marrying. It is no doubt that Nagkanya or Nagini are very beautiful and wise. One Nagini deity is still worshipped today in India is a Nagkanya, goddess of three realms. She is the goddess of underwater treasure and spiritual attainments. The upper part of her body is that of a woman, while the lower part of her body is that of a water serpent. It is said that there are many races of Nagas. Although most of the Nagas are both good and a few bad, many of their race have performed great deeds and have become enlightened. The Nag Sesha lived so virtuous a life that God Brahma finally granted him immortality. Sesha is now said to support the universe. The god Vishnu sleeps on Sesha's calls, under the shade of his 7 heads. According to Buddhism, the epic Prajnaparamita Sutta was stored in a place in Naglok. Nagarjuna, the Buddhist monk, travelled to that land and restored it. The lake Mansarovar, which is located in the western part of Sangapo Valley, is also known as Lake of Nagas. It is said that big lotus flower comes floating on the water of Mansarovar and some people with radiant aura sail on the lotus. The Tibetans believe that they come from Naglok. It is said that when Buddha was born, the Nagas sprinkled scented water over him. After Buddha became enlightened, He stayed in meditation for several weeks. His extreme piety attracted the Naga Muchalinda, a many-headed cobra. Muchalinda formed a resting place with his calls beneath the Buddha as a seat and sheltered the man with his great hood against storms so that Buddha could meditate undisturbed. When the Buddha died, one of the shrines built to honor his memory was in the land of Nagas. In India, some tribes still claim descent from Nagas and honor their ancestors, leaving offerings at certain pools and streams. In Hindu mythology, snakes are connected with the elements of water and the seas. They are also said to be able to confer invisibility on acceptable humans when these people enter any water. The Nagas also gave protection to doors and thresholds as well as kept guard over treasure, both physical and spiritual. Doors, thresholds and treasure, whether physical or spiritual, are considered dangerous things for unprepared humans. The Nagas will only reveal and allow access to these areas if the humans have been formed worthy and prepared. I hope this video has changed your perceptions about Nagas and Naginis. I will come up with more such interesting videos in future. Please don't forget to like or subscribe.